everybody. Happy Friday. I know it's coming late today, and I know some of you might already be off, so if you are, happy weekend. If not, you can listen to the video and learn a little bit about limited liability companies. I decided to keep it on the topic of entity authority, and I was going to talk about partnerships, and then I got 3 questions yesterday about LLCs, so I thought, well, we'll talk about LLCs today, and maybe we'll do partnerships next week. So when you have an LLC, either in title or they're purchasing, you're going to have some standard requirements. Obviously, there's some nuances sometimes in states, but for the most part, your requirements are going to be the same. You're going to need a file stamped and dated articles of organization and any amendments to that. You're going to want the operating agreement and any amendments to that as well. And then you want to know that the LLC is in good standing in the state wherever they were created. Some states you can get online and you can see that on the Secretary of State. Some states you're going to have proof from the LLC themselves. So it just depends on your state and what's accessible to you. The thing that's probably also you want to look at that operating agreement. The operating agreement really is your guidebook when you have an LLC. It's going to tell you whether it's member managed, whether it's manager managed. It's going to tell you if there's any restrictions, if there's anything that has to be done in order to, say, sell a property or buy a property. Now, most of the LLCs that we see are often, this is, an ordinary course of business. This is what the LLC was set up for, to do real estate sales, purchases, mortgages, things like that. So it's all given authority in the operating agreement, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a more general LLC that does different things. And so you're just going to look at that, make sure that there is authority. And then, as I say authority, it's making sure you know who's going to sign. So if it's a member managed, you may need all the members to sign. If it's a manager managed, it should spell that out for you. But if it doesn't, then we may be asking for more information. So when you have who you know is going to sign, the other thing is you got to make sure that LLC's name is there. So they're executing it really in their capacity as either an officer, a manager, a member of the LLC. So I do tell people, especially closers, to keep an eye out for that. Banks, I feel like, are sometimes notorious for filling out the notary block for us, and they'll just put a space for the name. And unfortunately, that's not correct when it's an LLC or a business. You will be signing as Kim Fields, vice president of, or managing member of. I should probably say managing member of, because we're on LLCs. ABC LLC, an Illinois limited liability company. So you just want to make sure that when you're filling that out as a notary, that you are actually notarizing the person in their capacity and not as an individual. So again, when you're looking at that operating agreement, you're really going to be looking for how it's managed. You're going to look at who has authority to sell, and then what restrictions might be out there or what requirements might be needed in order for them to sell or buy something. Some other questions you might want to ask, or you might have it posed to you. One that I get a lot is it's a one-person LLC, so a sole proprietorship. And in some states, we can do an affidavit, and that's it's sufficient. Some states, you're going to need something else. You might need an actual operating agreement, or you might need some other documentation. So if you have those situations, reach out to us. Another situation we see too is there's members one of the members passed away years and years ago, and they've just been going about their business. And if that operating agreement doesn't specifically state what happened, you may need to do something. They may need to take care of that interest because their heirs may have it or something else. So again, when you have something that's a little out of the ordinary, someone's missing, if it's a name that's not in the operating agreement at all and they're saying they can sign, we really just have to track back to make sure that it all lines up. Something too that you see a lot of times on commercial, just as a heads up, is you might have a limited liability company who is the managing member of another limited liability company, in which case we need the documentation for both of them. So all the same things, operating agreement, articles of org, and then just at the good standing for both, and then who's going to be signing. So again, you're going to look at that operating agreement to figure out what you need. And again, when you have questions, just let us know. We are happy to help. That's it for this week. So if you guys have anything else, let me know. If not, we'll see you next week.